Hey peeps, welcome back to Project Anonymous, and in today's video,
we're going to make an embroidered in the hoop gift tag.
So let's get to it. So for this project, we're going to use some felt,
Eyelets,
tearaway stabilizer,
and some festive colored threads.
So let's get to the project. So I'm in Inkscape, and I'm going to go to File, New from Template, and then select a template. So now I'm going to my Layers tab, and I'm going to rename Layer 1 to Outline, because on this layer I will make the outline of the gift tag. So now I'm going to make the rough basic shape of kind of how I want the gift tag to look like. So now I'm going to go to my node tool by pressing N, and I'm just going to straighten everything up. And then I'm going to make sure my template's at the corner to the ruler so I can resize it to the exact size I want. Now I'm going to move it off to the middle, and then I'm going to shape it. So now I'm going to go to my Fill and Stroke tab, and I'm going to go to Stroke Style, and I'm going to change it to a dashed line, which will give me a straight stitch with my applique. So I'm going back to my Layers tab to create a new layer. So now I'm going to go to my Bezier tool. So now I'm going to make a snowflake design, so I'm just going to do a line. Then I'm going to copy and paste it, Command C and Command V. And I'm going to click it again, and then rotate it. So now I'm going back to my Bezier tool, and I'm going to make kind of a triangle shape. And then I'm going to just adjust it a bit. And I'm going to copy and paste it, and then just rotate it to fit each line. So now I'm going to copy and paste it again, but this time I'm going to shrink the triangle a little bit and put it under. So now I'm going to select everything and then make it a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to my stroke style, and I'm going to make the lines a little bit bigger. I'm selecting everything, and I'm going to hold down Shift and select a new color. I'm going to go back to my Layers tab, create a new layer. This is going to be Outline 2. I'm going to move it on top of my other layers. So I'm going to go back to Outline, and I'm going to copy this outline, which is Command C, and then I'm going to go to Outline 2 and paste it. and now I'm going to move it to place. I'm making another layer. I'm going to name it Satin. So I'm going to paste the outline again. And I'm going to move it to my satin layer. Right click, move to layer, Satin Stitch. So I'm going to move it to place. Change the color. And then I'm going to go to my fill and stroke style, change it to a satin, and then I'm going to increase the size. So how this is going to stitch out is first I'm going to lock down my first piece of felt to the stabilizer. The next layer I'm going to add my little snowflake design. Then I'll put a red piece of felt under the stabilizer and stick it to the back. And then to lock it together, I'm going to do another outline to lock those two pieces of felt together. Then I'll cut off all the excess felt. Lastly, I'll add a nice satin stitch. So now I'm going to just go through the params of my snowflake. And then I'm going to make the zigzag spacing peak to peak, and I'm going to close it in closer to 0. Make it a little bit more dense. Apply and click. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to go to Extensions, Ink Stitch, Visualize and Export, Simulate a Realistic Preview, just so I can simulate how this is going to stitch out. So you can kind of see how the snowflake's kind of stitching out into a mess. So after it switches between each line, I'm going to cut the jump stitches for that. All I have left to do is save my design. Just a little disclaimer, I ended up going to document properties and changing it to a 4x4 template because I decided to use my 4x4 hoop instead of the 5x7 hoop. So I got my design saved onto my USB, and here are all the materials I'm using. it just finished embroidering, so now I have some red felt, which I'm going to put on the back so it won't show all these nasty edges. And then I'm just going to do a little running stitch around that. Okay, so it finished doing the little stitch, so now they are secured together. So I can just cut around the edges to prepare for the satin stitch. Finished cutting. Now let's add a nice satin stitch to fix this really bad cutting skills. Okay, it finished embroidering. So now all I'm going to do is do some finishing touches, take off the stabilizer, and get rid of these stitches. Let's do it! So this is the finished result. I think it turned out pretty nice.
Yeah, so we only embroidered one side of it. Obviously, we could have embroidered this side with a to and from if we wanted to.
Or we can even put it on the front side if we wanted to. It's really up to you, and this is why it's so great because it's so customizable. You can do different colored threads, different colored felt.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a cool idea to be able to make a tag that you could reuse every year if you wanted to. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yep. So a lesson we learned is maybe use a thicker weight bobbin because one of the sides turned out pretty good and then the other one's a little rustic. So I think maybe a thicker weight bobbin would have done a little bit better.
Yeah, so we say this all the time where we should have thickened up the satin stitch edge. In this case we did, but we didn't end up changing the bobbin thread to a thicker weight. So you can still see some of the red underneath here a little bit, but it's okay. I think it's turned out great still.
Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it if you liked it.
Like it.
Subscribe if you enjoy our content.
Subscribe.
And turn on those notifications so you get my every single time we post a video. Stay crafty.
And be happy.
Bye!